Over the past few months, I've been busy building my very own theme park in Planet Coaster 2, known as Isle of Discovery, with many different lands with so many different themes and rides and roller coasters, which you kind of expect in a theme park. But today, we're going to advance and make progress on our newest area, the Chinese themed land, by completely finishing our extreme spinning roller coaster with the inside of a dark ride section even being created, all of the surrounding area, and even afterwards adding another ride and roller coaster to that land. There is a lot to go through in this video, and I'll be POVing the spinning coaster right to the end, so be sure to watch all the way through this video and be sure to use the subscribe button if you haven't already. It would be massively appreciated, and I think you guys would massively appreciate it if I actually got on with the time lapse. So welcome to episode 16 of Isle of Discovery, this custom theme park in Planet Coaster 2 series. It's been one heck of a journey, one heck of a roller coaster, may one say. Of course, if you didn't see the last episode, episode 15, we started building the Mack Extreme Spinning Roller Coaster, our most extreme and insane roller coaster in the park, that has 7 inversions, 2 launches, one of which is a beyond vertical launch. I think it is the steepest in the world. I know Voltron does have the beyond vertical launch, but Voltron, you're second to this ride. I almost said the name of it then, because yes, I've given it a name as well. You guys have been suggesting some amazing names for both the dark ride in the area, the Dance Macabre style ride. If you haven't seen that, check out episode 14. There's a lot of plugs to do with previous episodes. Just go and check out the playlist. But as said, I've been looking through all of those different name suggestions for that ride, the Mack Extreme Spinner, and even some of the ones for the area in general and everything like that. And there are some really great ideas, and I have chosen a name for all of it so far. But I won't be revealing the Dance Macabre style rides one yet, because we're going to go back and finish the queue line and everything off for that in the next episode. But what I will request is a name for the 2 new rides we're going to build after finishing this spinning coaster. It's a jam-packed episode. So much jam, guys. Strawberry, raspberry. I can't think of any other jams, but there's a lot going on here. There is so much that's actually going into this area, and again, very similar to with the Greek area, really. I started building that, did Talos, did Poseidon, and I thought, oh, you know what, that's about it. We'll leave it at that. But you guys wanted to see it expanded on, and that's similar to what has happened with this Chinese themed land, because I've started building it, we've then built this Mack Extreme Spinner, and all of you guys want to see another coaster and another ride in the area as well, so we're going to be expanding it out. And I spoke about what the theme of that is going to be in the previous episode, and I basically said that it was going to be a bamboo forest style theme instead of this just nice, really sort of nice looking bit, very clean, that's the word, like this area is with the spinning coaster. We're going to have that more bamboo forest style, a little bit more overgrown over towards the back, but we'll get onto that later. We need to talk about this ride. Now, as said, I've chosen a name for it, and you'll see that later on. I'm actually going to change the entrance sign as well, because that was just ripped off from the area entrance, so I need to do something proper there. But with the exit going in here, we've got an entire building to build behind this, and also an entire dark ride section before that second launch. So what am I going to do? What is going to be in that building? Am I going to copy Voltron? Will it go like bouncing up and down like it does in that ride? Will I do something else with the track? Well, if you've played Planet Coaster, you'll realise that you can't really do trick track elements like that. So that's instantly a no-go. But what you can do, as we've seen very much with the Dance Macabre thing I made, you can make certain rooms and certain things spin around and make objects do really cool motions and all that stuff with all of your theming around it. So what I've decided to do, and you will see me making this in probably a few minutes, I have made a tunnel area where that launch is before you go up into that beyond vertical bit. And it's going to stop there for a few seconds, and the lights will all flicker a little bit, and suddenly that room is going to start spinning. Yes, so much spinning in this land, guys. We have the Dance Macabre one, which spins on the sort of different axes. It does the whole tilt feature and everything like that. You've got the spinning coaster, which goes upside down while spinning. And now the room inside there is going to spin too. So it's going to be a proper extreme spinner with a lot of disorientating elements. So that's the sort of vibe I'm going for in there, but we'll get onto that and you'll see how that comes along later. just ripping some of the theming off of the other temple in the area. This isn't exactly the same sort of temple. The roofing is very different. The walls are very different as well. And I do actually copy that across for the one behind, make it a little bit taller though, like so. And the Beyond Vertical Launch will go out of there, as you can see. Not through the roof panels, because you'd hit your head and it would be very bad. Obviously, I remove that and we sort of clear that way as we go along. This time lapse is going to be extremely random, I can't lie to you. The first episode of this Chinese themed area, we just focused on the dark ride. The second episode, we just focused on building the coaster, maybe doing a little bit of like foliage and custom supporting, which you can already see on the Beyond Vertical Launch as well. I've done that. This one, we're theming it up and making another ride and a roller coaster in the same area. There's just so much dotting around, like the backside there you can see that's very plain at the minute. In the last episode I did do a lot of the foliage there. I'm going to go back and do that again, but I'm not going to show you it because it's boring. You don't want to just see me placing trees down constantly. Maybe you do. Do you want to see a specific tree episode on this series of me just placing rocks and trees for the entire time? Oh, look at that head chopper. Quite literally. But no, that was one of the worries with this ride is with these two buildings, not necessarily the station building because it's quite far away from the rest of the coaster, but that back building, it has a lot of dynamic elements on it that are very much protruding the track layout. That sounded really smart. And with that comes the challenge of trying to fit the coaster going through that. So obviously, you know, the airtime hill that goes into that mid-course brake run with the next launch, that is right underneath a 0G roll, which is also right next to another piece of track on the second half of the layout, and then you've got the Beyond Vertical Launch coming out that same building. It's a disaster, which is why I've decided to go ahead and sort of make the smaller theme of this ride, if that makes sense. So not like the main storyline, but just part of what this ride is about, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I wanted to make it so when you walk into the main area itself, so even before you approach this coaster, it's very clean, it's very open, everything looks very pristinely kept and just well kept. Probably just should have said that, but everything just looks like it has been kept on top of really well, and it's very nicely portrayed, everything like that. Until you reach the coaster, which it will still look very nice from the front, but behind that temple is just a lot of broken pieces, like ruins and everything. I know we seem to back onto this theme of ruins and rubble every single time it comes to an area, but it works really well, especially for something like this, where it's quite difficult to sort of, you know, fit the ride going around two very complete temples, so why not make it so one is a bit worse? Which is why there's so many bits with the airtime hill going into the mid-course, or the 0G roll, the little turns on the second half, or that Beyond Vertical Launch in general. It's just impossible for me to actually keep it in a way that looks like the rest of the area. So I thought it'd be really cool to have that contrast at the back, and I think it worked really well, and I'll show you that later on, which also sort of links into what happens in that rotating room. But you'll see that later on as well, because we're going to POV this thing. I know I did POV in the last episode, but we just did the spinning POV. It was very difficult to see things. In this episode, you've seen the front row spinning view. I might do that again just to show you the difference, or I might even do a back row and also the front bumper, because then you can actually see what's going on, because you genuinely cannot see, it spins so much. This is definitely the most extreme ride in this park, and with some of the stuff I have planned coming soon, I don't think it will, I don't know, it might stay the most insane, you know, because what I've got coming next is still incredible. Like, I'm really looking forward to experimenting with the different coaster types, and very much looking forward to that. But I don't know if it will beat this for the intensity, because this spins a lot, goes upside down 7 times. It's ridiculous, so I have no idea at the moment. I have some really cool ideas going forward. Obviously, we got the announcement recently, the Wild West theme is coming back in the next update, which is, I think, yeah, under 2 weeks away now. Crazy. Well, at the time of posting this anyway. I can't wait to build a Wild West area in this park. You know that's happening. It's got to happen. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be nice to use different pieces, you know. We haven't got the Wild West pieces in this game at all. There's not really too many ways to make it. I know you can probably use, like, I don't know, wooden walls and some different signage and tiny little wooden bits to make the Western theme. But when it comes to like the sort of like the wagons and everything like that, it's just going to be so nice to make a Wild West themed area. I don't know what you want to see in that area. I was thinking just the stereotypical wooden coaster that they always have in those areas. But I don't know if you want to see something different. I'll have a think. I haven't actually thought it out really, but we'll see what happens there. As you can see, something different already. We're going for that spinning room, the trommel tunnel on a roller coaster. It's not exactly centered. I didn't realize that until it just sped up really fast. Oh no. I'm so bad at lining things up. But as you can see, we've got some detailing going in on the walls here. It's a little bit difficult to do this, but we got there in the end. And it's going to spin around you. Little light show beforehand, and just to disorientate you even more, you know, you've just gone through this crazy airtime filled upside down adventure, spinning like mad, and then you're going to launch all the way up whilst spinning there. And I know the back car in that shot didn't actually get into that room, but I will fix that, don't you worry. Back to the Wild West though. Yeehaw! That might be the most broken impression of a cowboy I've ever heard in my life. As said, if you have any ideas on what you want to see in that area, please let me know. Like I've just been debating in my head, the wooden coaster idea seems a little bit basic, you know. It's very nice to have a wooden coaster in a Wild West themed area, but I feel like every Wild West themed area has a wooden roller coaster. So let's be a little bit different, you know. Think of some different ideas. There will be a wooden coaster in this park regardless, so stay tuned for that. I have an idea for another themed area coming very soon. There's so much potential with this park. If you didn't see my Q&A video, which if you don't watch my normal videos that I do alongside the Planet Coaster ones, then I recommend watching because we have a lot of fun with those. But I did speak about in the Q&A the fact that Isle of Discovery, it's not coming to the end, but there's not too many areas left. I did say there was about 5 areas, including the water park, left. So you're thinking, I don't know, after this area, let's say probably 2 the same size as this one, if not the similar size to like the Viking area, and then 2 smaller ones and the water park. So you're not talking like full-scale areas that will take 3 or 4 episodes. I'm talking 1 or 2 episode areas. But yeah, we're coming towards the end of this park now, which is really sad because I've really enjoyed it. But again, I've said this before, there's going to be more park projects. I absolutely love building custom parks. I used to do so many recreations in Planet Coaster 1. There's the room spinning. There it goes for the first time. I used to do so many recreations in Planet Coaster 1, and I know I've done a couple in this game, and there will be more of them too, especially now I have the time to. But I love building custom because you can just experiment so much with it. Like, there's no such thing as a Mack Extreme Spinner themed to like the Chinese theme and like going into a spinning room. Like, it just doesn't exist out there. So it's really cool to do stuff like this. And I really can't wait to see what else the game adds, because when we go into these next custom parks, we're going to be building other themes. I'm not going to just go into the same park and, go into a different park and build the same thing. I'm not going to build a Greek themed area in my next park, if you get my vibe. It might be a Klugheim type one, so it's not exactly Viking, but it uses those pieces, stuff like that. But I have some ideas for things coming very soon, and it's not necessarily a recreation, but there is a recreation in the works at the minute. I don't know if I was supposed to say that, but you'll see that in due course. I've got so many different plans for both this park and the next ones. Don't worry, there's more coming, and I will be uploading this one to the workshop once it's done. I would upload it because I know now you can sort of update them and save changes so people can see the development and I guess experience it for themselves whilst I'm building it. But I quite like the idea of, as you would do with any theme park, once it is pretty much finished, uploading it to the workshop then, so you can experience the entire park at the same time. I feel like opening the park and putting it on the workshop when it's only got 2 or 3 areas in it wouldn't feel right to me, so I like the idea of keeping it to myself, I guess, until I have completed that. A little quick update about the lighting situation in this park. You may have realised I have done 0 lighting in this park. Like, genuinely, if you zoom out right now, oh, I actually did, crazy timing, at night, it's just a ghost town. There's no lighting whatsoever. Maybe a couple areas have like tiny little lamps or whatever. But that really needs to be sorted. Like, it's one of those things that I don't know why I just forget all the time to do that. Like, I've got no benches in my park either, no bins. So we're going to do an episode eventually towards the end where I do go around and light everything up and sort of, you know, check out what's on offer. Because I know a lot of you guys also want to see a show on the water outside the front lake. That would be really cool, and I think I'll do that in the future, because I can't see a park of this scale not having a show on that lake, whether it be a fountain show, a fireworks show. I don't care, I want a show. So we'll do that. As you can see, a nice view up there. I don't know why I was trying to get a view and then trying to place pathway down, but yeah, we're sorting out the doors to that, and there you go. It's running nicely, and it just seems to be an off shot. Oh, what on earth? I have no idea why that just went into vertical like angle. The aspect ratio went so weird. I apologise for that. But now we are on to the 2 new rides in the area. We've pretty much finished the spinning coaster. There's still a couple other things. I'm going to make a train design for that as well, so you'll see that in the next episode. But I'm going to do a full area tour next episode. So yeah, subscribe if you don't want to miss that. The new rides. I said there was a top spin. There it is. Spinning around, trying to do the colour scheme on it right now. I thought I was going to have this over on a concrete plinth to try and beat the record that Toxicator has set, because I thought that'd be quite funny. I decided to dig it a little bit into the ground. It might even go further at this point, just because I feel like looking at it from above, looking down on it, you're going to see it a lot more, whereas you might strain your neck if it's too high up. And I feel like if I was trying to beat the Toxicator record, which is a crazy record by the way, then I might genuinely just start hurting people's necks if they try and look at it off-ride. So I have decided to put it in the ground a lot like Ramesses Revenge or Ripsaw, and we're going to theme that up somehow. If you have any ideas for that, let me know. Storylines, anything that will help with that. I'm down to see your guys' ideas, but I need to talk about this. The family B&M invert that's being built in front of your eyes very, very quickly. This layout isn't the greatest, I can't lie. I'm saying that in a sort of sense that I'm obviously going to try and build the best I can, but these coasters in general, I mean, it's so good they didn't even make it around that turn. These coasters in general don't really look amazing. They just look like they're there, and obviously it's a family coaster, so a lot of like younger people will enjoy it more. So maybe I'm just not the demographic, but these coasters in real life don't look like the best thing ever. So that's why this layout isn't the best thing ever. It's probably one of the better ones of these coaster types. But yeah, there you go. We've got 2 B&M inverts in the park now. We've got the massive one in Valkyrie and this one that needs a name. So it's going to be a green colour scheme I've gone for, green and brown, to fit in with the bamboo theme of this little area here. It's like a sub area of the Chinese theme land, if that makes sense. And not a very long layout, as you can tell, just goes around there. I might add another helix, but I'm not overly sure at the moment. Can run 2 trains because of the brake run, and yeah. It's just a nice family coaster, I think. It's not the best ride in the park by any means, but it's that step up. It's not Dracos level, because that was just way too kid-friendly. Obviously, that's a good thing, though. We need those types of coasters in this park. Jungle Rush is probably a little bit above this family coaster level, because it obviously has the launches and the high-speed turns and stuff. But I'd say this is on the same level as Artemis, that Intamin multi-dimension coaster. I think it's on a similar level, and I like that, because there's a lot of spinning and a lot of thrill rides in this area of the park. Obviously, other areas you've got, I don't know, a thrill coaster, then like a river rapids, or you've got like a log flume, like teacups, like you've got loads of like little rides as well. Whereas this, it's just got the thrilling version of Dance Macabre, so it's literally just like airtime galore and like spinning so fast. Then you've got a Mack Extreme Spinning, which is just ridiculous. And you've got a top spin. So I needed to put some sort of family coaster in, and I said I was going to do this. It was a great idea, and I've done it. There you go. That's just going around nice speed. Not that you can tell because it's time-lapse footage, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And just sort of getting rid of some of the supports. Like I said last time, the supports in this game aren't that bad anymore, I don't think. They're pretty good. Obviously, I will go and change quite a few of these, I think, because I did that for the Mack Extreme Spinner, and it does look a lot better. But just for the time being, it's not too bad. Like this turn here, I get rid of all of them because it's just the complete wrong side that I don't want it on. And there you go. And testing it now, just sort of changing the intervals. making sure it goes round. I can't remember the excitement rating on this, but I think it's actually alright, which is surprising, because it's just a family B&M invert. It's nothing special. Now it goes round. We're going to have a nice bamboo theme, like I keep bloody saying, and I don't know why I've said that so many times, you know. The word bamboo doesn't even exist anymore, I've said it so much. But we're going to have a nice plaza area, so you can look at the coaster, and you can look at that, I was going to call it Ripsaw then, the top spin. And we're also going to have a restaurant somewhere, because there's not one in this area, and I'm trying to get one in each area, whether it be a small little eatery or something massive. Don't know what I'm going to go for here. So again, if you have any ideas, let me know. Doing some terrain work quickly before we finish up with that. In this episode, like we did with the coaster, well, this is a coaster, like we did with the spinning coaster, I'm not actually going to build much of the theming. It's just going to be a little bit of terrain work, just sort of showing you where it is, and then I'll leave the name and ideas up to you guys so that I can then embed that into the coaster's theme, and we can do that in the next episode. And then the Chinese themed area will be finished, and I'm going to talk to you about what's next after this area is done in just a moment, because we're going to go into real time now. And here we are then at the front entrance of Isle of Discovery. We're back again, and I'm not even going to mention it. Coming into the main entrance area, and I still need to sort this out because, like I said, I really want to have some sort of fountain show or fireworks show on this lake here. I think it'd be perfect because you could just watch it from all angles and it'd be lovely. Now, you might find it a little bit weird that I am walking through this gardens area of Ethereal Gardens first, but the reason for that is because there's been a new addition to the Memorial Gardens over here, and that is for this piece of track here. Rest in peace, King Dakar. Why do I want to play sequence? What is... I didn't even know there was a sequencer in there. But yeah, I wanted to put some real life stuff and also some stuff from the rides in the park because it's just funny. But over there, very low poly, we can see the coaster and the temples as we head down into the main area of the Chinese themed land. Here we go. And there it is, the main temple in the center and the spinning coaster off to the left. As said, I now have the name for that ride in there, so I'll be revealing that in the next episode when I show you the full sequence completed. And over here, of course, we have the Mack Extreme Spinner. I did say I was going to finish it in this episode. I haven't finished all of it purely because the entrance sign is just floating. But there will be an entrance sign and a sort of train design made, so there's still some more to come. But the name for this ride is Jinshu, which is suggested by Comnadedog 5828. I apologise if I got that wrong. But not only does that name sound really cool, but it has the meaning in English of the golden snake. And as much as this is very much a red and grey snake, if you wanted to call it that, it is the year of the snake in the Chinese New Year. And I do feel like this coaster does snake through the area around it, very much so. So yeah, that's a brilliant name. Thank you very much for suggesting that. This is that main view that I was talking about that you can get of the sort of broken temple buildings and all the interaction and stuff. There it is. I really, really like how that looks. I'm very happy with it. And here we go on the front bumper view. We'll do this one first and then we'll get a back row ride. We'll do some other stuff. And here you go, through that first roll. A lot faster than the Rides of Happiness one. And then we head straight into the first launch, no stopping. Into that first inversion. Nice outer bank at the top. I love that. And it's just filled with airtime, this ride. And the smoothness of it, I'm pretty happy with. There's a few bits that could be smoother. But considering you're going to be spinning on it and the track POV is smooth enough, I'll take it. Overbank. Round over the pathway, I love that bit. Snaking down, snake, love that for the name. That roll is insane. And then the airtime hill into here. This is the dark ride section. We'll get a better look at this later on when we're actually seated. But here we go. Some particles going, and we enter this room here. I don't think you're actually going to see this on the front bumper view. I don't think you will. No. You can see the border of the thing spinning though. Again, we'll get a better look at that in a minute. And then up the Beyond Vertical launch. Crazy, man. And then airtime hill all the way down. See, this bit, like I said, I didn't time-lapse all this because, as you can see, it's literally just a lake with some fountains, some nice shrubbery. And now just the temple there as well. Over some custom supports, holding up the ride. Into that loop. that loop is a pre-built one, so I'm not going to take credit for how good that is. That dive there, that's the only thing I'll use pre-built for, is the loops, because they are actually pretty decent. That roll, I love the fact it goes over the other train going into the second launch. And there we go. Round and into the brake run. I forgot to mention, as you can see, I made this little maintenance area. You can see the sort of track rails that it will go along to go into that maintenance bay. And over here we've got like a service road. I probably need to clear some trees. All the way down, linking up to around here where you can sort of see the back of the maintenance shed behind the dark ride as well. This still needs to be done over here, but we'll do that. We'll finish that in the next episode. Back row POV time. Oh my god, the roll itself is so much faster on the back. Oh god. I forget how intense the back row is. That's ridiculous. You just can't see where you're going. Oh my word. Okay, well, we're spinning a lot. As expected. See, that looked so much smoother. It's obviously still smooth, but it was so much smoother on this seated POV. Because you can't really see it. Maybe it's spinning too much, man. This is crazy. And then into the building, we might actually get a better look of the little show scene in here. So you can see these statues in the center. This one in the middle on the bottom left now actually rotates. And we enter this room. Are we not going to see it? Oh, the door closes. You can see the room spinning around. Again, let's look at it in a minute. There it goes. That's quite a cool view. That is ridiculous. Can you imagine? Voltron's one is incredible enough. Imagine it backwards and spinning. There we go, round. And then we go into the sort of twisty bit. Yeah, see, that's why I really like the name Jinshu, because it means golden snake. And there's a lot of gold around, obviously, especially inside the temple as well. And just the way it weaves in and out, it is just a snake, isn't it, really? And then we go round there. Airtime hill. Whoa, look at that. Clearance on that is probably a bit ridiculous, I can't lie. I've said the word ridiculous way too many times, but it's okay, because that's what this ride is. And there you go, maintenance bay once again. But yeah, let's get a proper look at this dark ride section. So it's, again, very much the temple theme here, and then you see a lot of particles sort of drifting towards the door, and that statue does twist round, to which this door opens, and then you enter this room, all the particles again, and this actually is a bit disorientating, so motion sickness warning, guys. All the lights flicker, and there you go. The room starts spinning around you. That door opens, flashing, and then you're off. Very simple, very effective, I feel, and it does actually make me feel a little bit unwell. So I'm going to move away from that. Obviously, the area itself is very nicely sort of planted, and we've got some extra like netting here when the coaster does get a little bit too close, but I'll be putting that more around the area if I need to. Although places like this where you can get that really cool view over the fence towards the main temple and that loop, it's just incredible, man. I love how this came out. But if we turn around, as you can see, we have this building here, which has been the original building since the very beginning of this area. I knew I had to get it in somewhere in an important way. That was the sort of tester run to see if you could do the Chinese theme, and that will be the entrance for this ride here. As we have this coaster here, I really do like the contrast of the sort of red and grey, yellow sort of colour schemes. And now this green and brown one. I think it goes quite well. There will be a little bit more work to like bridges and stuff over here, so it looks a little bit better. But yeah, I really like how this ride swoops in and around the sort of terrain and putting some pathways, maybe like down here or something. Will definitely do well for that. But that area is coming along nicely. It's going to be quite a big area once I've finished it. And with that being said, what is next after I do complete that? Obviously, the finishing product of that will be posted next week, so you'll be seeing that sort of more towards the new update, and the actual update with all those Wild West theming pieces and the water slide update stuff will be coming the week after. So if you somehow haven't guessed it already, and I've said it multiple times in previous episodes, I think after that the first port of call will be to start and I guess make a lot of the water park over here. I would have started it ages ago, but with that new update and the new physics of the water slides, it looks so much better now, and I think it's definitely worth waiting. But in that episode, we'll make our first pools, we'll have the entire sort of facade done and everything like that, so we can enter in to our water park and start building loads of different slides, loads of attractions, and I genuinely can't wait to get started on that. But the park is coming along nicely. You've got this much area left and probably this bit in the corner to do. I've got some ideas for themes, you know, Wild West one's coming, and I'm not going to reveal anything else because our next area, it's going to be good. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future Isle of Discovery episodes. And yeah, thank you for watching.